welcome to episode 9, and we have turned the camera around to my beautiful social media manager, Hannah Eckold with Sudoku Media. Hannah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this is just funny, really. She's the magic behind all of it, and I'm just so excited to actually get to chat with her. So, tell me about your journey. What brought you into social media management and photography?
Okay, well, it's all very interesting because I've been doing photography for practically a decade now. So I've been doing it for a really long time. I just started doing videography since about last year.
Okay.
And that has been very fun, very rewarding, very difficult. It's funny how videography, it does translate over pretty well. So like it didn't take me really very long to learn videography, but it is interesting how bigger of a scope it covers. Videography, there's just so much more to it, whereas with photos, and this just could be the fact that I have years of experience, but with photos, it's just like the back of my hand. Like I can just do a picture so quickly when it comes to editing a photo, but when it comes to editing a video, I'm like at my computer for hours. But then again, I feel like that's every videographer.
Yeah.
And then as far as like social media management goes, it's really interesting because you were my first.
Yay.
And honestly, that just happened through network and by chance. And I wasn't even realizing that I was like capable of being a social media manager at that time. But then when you like took me on and like gave me the chance, like had faith in me, I was like, wow, this is actually really enjoyable, and it just translates so well to what I already do.
Yeah.
And it just goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
You know? So now it's like, now I'm doing the professional photography, videography, and social media managing, and it's just been like so awesome, kind of just evolving into this whole business. It's been great, honestly, just having my own business, my own thing, my own schedule, like just, that's always been my dream, because I started out in the medical field, as you know.
Yeah.
I was in the medical field for like 7 years, and I went from EMT, paramedic to nursing, and then it was in nursing where I was like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I was doing photography on the side the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dang, this is really my dream, but I was also just too scared to like take that leap.
Yeah.
And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bet on myself and see what happens. And here we are.
I love it. So yeah, if you get so nervous that you pass out, you have a paramedic,
Yeah.
So no worries on that. But no, I love that journey. I love finding your passion. I think it's also funny too, because I think obviously independent contractor, real estate agent, a lot of people get into it for that flexible schedule, but we will both tell you right now that it's probably actually more work. But yes, it is on your own time. So
yes.
I know sometimes she texts me god awful times, but that you just work how you can, when you can,
exactly.
and whatever mode, just do it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And I love how I can have such a personal relationship with my clients. Like, I feel like you and I, like, we're good friends,
yes.
and I feel like we get along so well. Obviously, being a business owner, as you know, like, you don't get along with every client or every person you come into contact with, and that's just the life of an entrepreneur.
Yep.
But it's nice though when you do have that good relationship and you just like bounce well off each other. You create some really amazing art.
Yes.
And also I just further your business, you further mine. It's such a beautiful symbiotic relationship that we have.
Yeah.
Plus being a female entrepreneur, I know how big you are on that concept, and so I like that we're also both females, and we're both like powerhouses in a way.
Yeah, doing it.
Yes.
So tell me, I think with your point of videography and getting into it, I mean, that is where our world is going, right? I mean, advertising, it's not just the stills anymore. They want people in front of the camera. I mean, kind of why we're doing this even, right? It's just, this is the new, or not even new. I mean, this is where we are. So if you're not videoing, you're behind the 8 ball. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I was one that never really got into social media for myself. Like, I do like some modeling on the side for fun and things like that. So like doing my own personal social media was like, okay, maybe a shoot here and there for modeling purposes, but I was never consistent with my own social media. And it wasn't until I became a social media manager to where I was like super consistent with social media and super knowledgeable about it. And the more I learned about it, the more I was like, wow, okay, like here are the trends, like here's where it's going. And where it's going is, yeah, you want to do a lot of videos, a lot of reels. You know, people want to see into your life. You know, people want the vlogs. People want to see the real time thing. Like just stills are boring these days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I, like for myself personally, I still kind of stock on my own social media because, you know, I just like don't really have the time when I'm doing your social media and like, you know, doing
it's a full-time job.
literally,
Yes.
and like doing other shoots and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I still stock on mine, but I do now have that knowledge, and it's so crazy just like knowing so much more about social media and how it like even affects myself. But it's definitely interesting just seeing how the trends change over time and all the new apps that come into play and whatnot. It's a lot to keep up on for sure when you're like a business owner and an entrepreneur, and like this, and social media is like not your job. It's definitely, like you said, like a full-time job. So it's like if you're a business owner and you're also trying to keep up on social media platforms, like both are going to be like a full-time job.
It's exhausting. We'll just leave it at that. And I think, you know, I've dabbled, or I've had a couple different social media managers, but I think the thing that makes us work so well is the cohesiveness, the localness. I think that's actually super important, and the fact that she's all in one. So like we are doing a branding shoot today and shooting podcasts. So obviously she can do all of that. She can do the video, she can do the photos, and then it's all consistent, which I think is so important in social media also, is just having this flow, and people can tell, like you can tell when things have been kind of shoved in and like maybe not at the same time. So I think that cohesiveness is super important.
Definitely. I mean, I would say that I've worked with people who, you know, were really nervous in front of the camera. So they were just like, let's just, you know, get it done with, like, let's just rush it. And the thing is, it's a dance, you know, it's a dance between you and I, right? So it's like, yeah, of course, as a professional, like I'm going to tell you how to pose. I'm going to direct you a bit. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do all the lighting. I'm going to take care of all that. I'm going to position you, the location, you know, even help you with outfits if need be, right? But see, the thing is though, at the end of the day, it's like you have to be comfortable in your own skin, you know, and you have to be willing to sometimes do like 2 or 3 takes. You know, and that's the thing. Like you are great at that. Like you are great. Like you're like another take, let's go, 500 takes. You know, which is awesome because it's like sometimes you really just gotta, you know, especially if you're messing up your words, or maybe I don't know, maybe it was my fault. Like maybe the audio was weird, or the lighting wasn't right, or maybe it was blurry. I don't know, but it's like you got to be willing to kind of like put in that work. I feel like sometimes people will hire me and they'll think that like I'm just doing it all for them, and I'm like, well, I can't pose for you, you know, or I can't talk for you. Like you kind of have to pull, you know, you have to pull that one out. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do everything. I can do most of it, but
for sure, no, there's preparation, there's process. It's not quick. You can't rush it. So it really is a matter of kind of time blocking for us, like you know, trying to knock out a bunch of things kind of at one time for both of our schedules, but. I'm just so appreciative, and I can't wait to see where we go from here.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
All right.